Welcome back. Brittany Lauffer is here now with national news. Let's send it over to her at the news desk.
Thanks, James. After news spread across the nation that Toronto Mayor Rob Ford publicly admitted to using crack cocaine a year ago, Ford is not looking to step down anytime soon. In fact, he is anticipating running for re-election in 2014. Last Tuesday, during a news conference at his office, he said, quote, "I was elected to do a job, and that is exactly what I am going to continue doing. We live in a democracy, and on October 27, 2014, I want the people of this great city to decide if they want Rob Ford to be their mayor," end quote. He also made a promise to the people of Toronto that his past actions will not be repeated. People went running for their lives in a New Jersey mall last Monday night when a gunman opened fire haphazardly, shooting in the building. Authorities identified the suspect as 20-year-old Richard Shoup of Teaneck, New Jersey. His body was found dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound in a back area of the mall around 3:20 a.m. The incident could have been a possible cover for a controversial and debatable suicide plot, seeing the mall was closing in 10 short minutes. Only 6 shots were fired, and after leaving an ambiguous note at home, it was hard to say he went in with the intention to kill others. Could you imagine being the one to discover around 1,500 missing works of art that had been confiscated by the Nazis during World War II? Well, it came to a shock to German authorities, too, when they raided a Munich man's home 2 years ago. The trash-filled apartment was home to 80-year-old Cornelius Gerlet, as well as $1.35 billion worth of artwork by many artists that Hitler, who was an amateur artist in his youth, derided, including Picasso, Matisse, and Chagall. Gerlet is currently under investigation for allegations of tax evasion. According to investigator Matthias Wemhoff, quote, it is so unclear who has the rights to these works," end quote. And much has happened following Election Day last Tuesday. Detroit elects their first white mayor in the past 4 decades. Democrat Mike Dugan lives by the campaign slogan of, quote, "Every neighborhood has a future," end quote. He ran on a platform of financial turnaround, crime reduction, and economic development. Heading over to New Jersey, Chris Christie easily takes another term. The tough-talking Republican has the most buzz of any potential 2016 Republican presidential candidate, and his mayor acceptance speech was aimed not only at New Jersey but to a national audience. And New York City picked its first Democratic mayor for the first time in 2 decades. Bill de Blasio said in his victory speech, quote, "Make no mistake, the people of the city have chosen a progressive path, and tonight we set forth on it together as one city," end quote. And that's all for national news this week. Now back to the couch.
Thanks, Brittany. The holiday season is right around the corner.
Hunter Tresnicky is here to tell us about what kind of temporary jobs are being offered this year. Hunter, I love the holidays, and I know there's a lot of jobs for a lot of kids.
Thanks, James. All right, guys, the holidays are almost upon us, and some of you may take more of an initiative than others in looking for jobs, but if you want to make some extra cash over the holiday break, believe it or not, there are some places locally here in Pittsburgh and probably back in your hometown that are hiring temporary workers for the holiday season. Here are some retailers that are hiring this year. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade may possibly be the official kickoff to the holiday season, but in addition to flying those gigantic balloons over the streets of Manhattan, Macy's is adding 83,000 new workers this year, 3,000 more than last year. Number 2, JCPenney plans to hire 35,000 new seasonal workers this holiday season after it alienated customers last year by phasing out coupons to take on an everyday low prices feel. The company needed to disclose some good news to consumers this year. Kohl's Corporation says it plans to add more than 53,000 holiday workers this year, up more than 350 last year. In addition to hiring seasonal employees, Kohl's plans to remodel 30 stores this fall as part of its holiday preparations. Next on the list, Walmart. With more than 1.3 million employees nationwide, they plan to add 5,000 more than they did last year to make a total of 55,000 new employees for this holiday season. And finally, a company that isn't adding as many this year, Target. While Target will be adding 70,000 jobs this holiday season, that is 18,000 fewer than last year. A Finance Yahoo article says this is partially due to many current Target workers wanting more holiday hours. So, Get those applications out there and you'll be able to make some extra dough through the holidays to pay for those gifts, or, as much as you don't want to, even start thinking about paying off those student loans. I don't want to think about it just as much as you do, but it is a reality. James and Joanne, back to you.
Thanks, Hunter. You know, I think he's right. Who would have ever thought that stores would hire more people in the holidays? Coming up next on Daybreak, Kim Hung will be here with your weekly weather report.
And Ryan Bailey with sports. Don't go away. We'll be right back.